Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to another day of kindergarten with Mrs. R. I'm so glad you're here. I hope that you guys had a great day so far. You got a lot of rest and you had a great breakfast to start your day. And so let's go ahead and begin by getting out our kindergarten binders. And I will share my screen here with you. So we're going to go ahead and get out our kindergarten binders, and you're going to need your dry erase marker and your eraser, okay, to start with. So we're going to start off by doing our name, like we always do. Practice writing our name. And so you can go ahead and write your name 4 times, just like Mrs. R is going to do. Or if you want to use the sheet that has more lines and you want to challenge yourself to write your name more times, you can do that too. So I'm going to start off. Whoops, I'm going to redo that one. Cut off the page a little bit. Start off by writing my name 4 times. So you go ahead and do that too. All right. I am sure by this time, all of you have very nice handwriting because you've been practicing so much, huh? I know you guys have been writing a lot, not only in your kindergarten notebook, but also in math and social studies and health and all your other subject areas. So that's really good. It'll be fun when we can finally be in class together and Mrs. R can see all of the cool work that you're doing while you're working on it. All right, so if you're still writing your name, go ahead and push pause and then push play again when you're ready to join me. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and erase my name. And I'm definitely gonna need to clean my board off here. Okay, so now we're going to go to I Know My Alphabet. So this week we have a couple of new letters. We're going to start off with the letter X. The letter X is so easy to do. It's just 2 straight diagonal lines. So the capital X starts at the top line, like most capital letters do, and it goes diagonally across and down to the bottom. And then you just do the other side the same way, but other direction. So cross, cross, oops. Cross, 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 just like that. It's like making 2 lines that intersect in the middle. Cross, 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 cross. Those are really easy letters to do. The letter X is one of the easier letters. So, as you know, we get to build it too with Play-Doh. So I'm going to go ahead and get out some Play-Doh. And this will be a really easy one to do also because it just looks like 2 worms, right? So I'm going to roll out 1 giant worm and then just break it in half, and then we'll have 2 worms. So go ahead and get your Play-Doh out and start rolling some worms for yourself. And this will be one of the easy letters for us to do together. All right, so I'm going to break that in half. And I'm going to do one side like that. And the other side crosses over, just like that. Press it down a little bit. So, across and across, just like that. Really easy. All right, so if you're still working in building your letter, just go ahead and press pause. All right, I'm going to pull my X off of there, and I'm going to erase my board. And I'm going to go to the next page, which is lowercase x. Same shape, same direction. The only difference is it starts at the middle line. So make that a little bit bigger so you can see that. So the diagonal line starts at the middle and goes across to the bottom. And it starts at the middle, across to the bottom, across to the bottom. Just like that, really easy. Like I said, X is one of those easier letters to do. Just make sure the lowercase x starts at the middle line, not at the top line, okay? And then I'm going to, I saved my worms from my capital X. I didn't smash them. So I'm just going to make them a little shorter this time for my lowercase x. Just need to take a little bit off of each one. Like that. There we go. So stretch that out a little bit. So across and across, just like the capital X, same motion, just smaller. That's all. But anytime if I'm getting ahead of you, you guys know you need to press pause, okay? All right, so now we're going to do our letter search. You can see that. So I'm going to go all the way towards the back. That's where I keep my newest letters that we haven't done yet. And here is the letter X. Let me turn it on so you can see better. Well, that makes it hard to see. There's a glare. Okay, so as you know, in the box on the bottom, that's the letter we're looking for, the letter X. So I'm just going to go through and search all those letter X's, which means it's two lines crossing in the middle. So when you read books, you will notice that often they use something called a different kind of font, which is the print that they use to make the letters, to shape the letters. And in order for us to read different kinds of books and things, we have to get used to seeing X look in different ways. So this is a good practice for us. So let's go ahead and count. I'm going to count in my brain. Okay, so this is the number you're looking for. You're looking for, what number is that? Anybody know what number that is? The number 12, that's right. So we're looking for 12 letter X's. So if you have not found 12, you need to keep looking, okay? So if you're still looking, go ahead and press pause until you finish. All right, I'm gonna erase my board. And I'm gonna go to our high frequency word list, which is the picture of the girl holding a piece of paper and a pencil or a crayon, I guess. And this is the pocket where you keep all of the words you know. This is the pack where you keep, put the thumbs down, where you keep the words you're still working on, which is fine. Okay, so the word for today is the word it. So let me show you it. Okay. It is spelled I-T, it, like it is a great day to learn, or it is Thursday, okay, it, I-T spells it. So now we're gonna write it. Now, the word it, most of the time you're gonna see it written in lowercase, which means it usually starts at the middle line. So lowercase I starts at the middle line, goes to the bottom with a dot, small dot at the top. Now, T is one of those letters that it doesn't follow the rules of the lowercase. It does touch the top line, so there are a few like that. So top to bottom, like a number 1, and then cross on that dotted line in the middle. Okay? So lowercase I, same thing, starts at the middle line, goes to the bottom of the dot. The lowercase t starts at the top, goes all the way to the bottom like a number 1 and cross in the middle. This isn't too bad, right? You can do this. Okay? So that is the word it. All right, so let me go ahead and erase that. So go to our next page. So we're going to put it there, and we're going to say it. Ah, I just said the word. I-T spells it. Now we would build it with letters. So this is where you push pause and go get your magnetic letters. You need to find I-T and build the word, okay? And then last one, say it, and then spell it. I-T spells it. And then I'm going to build it with Play-Doh. So I need a lowercase I, which is just a short number 1. Use that. And then, of course, we need the dot on the top for the I. So here's my dot. Oop, almost got away from me there. And then I need a lowercase t, so it's going to be taller, a little bit taller. Ooh, a little bit too tall. That, and then I need a cross in the middle, right? We need to have that middle part that comes across the center like this. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so I-T spells it. And if you're still building it with Play-Doh, just go ahead and press pause. right, so we're going to go ahead and put our kindergarten notebook away, and we are going to go ahead and take a look at our letter for today. I'm going to show that to you. X. So X is one of those interesting letters that you're not going to see very often at the beginning of words. X is often at the end of a word, and I'll show you in a minute here what I mean. So X says x, 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 x. X says x, as in X-ray. Okay, so I'm going to put this to the side. So I'm going to show you some other words, and I'll show you what I mean. So here's the word X-ray. It has an X in the front, doesn't it? But most of the time, you're going to find that when you see the letter X, it's going to be at the end of the word. X, mix. Or, like this word, what is that? A box, right? B-ox, box. Or, like that? Fox, isn't it? Ox, fox. We actually have someone in our kindergarten that has the last name Fox, and his first name is Derek. So he has this thing. So he should be able to know how to spell this word, right? Okay, so we have X-ray, mix, box, fox. So you notice that the X is usually used at the end of the word, and that's where you're going to see it the most often used, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look in our backpack there. Listening and writing book number 1. We are almost done with this book, you guys. We have just a few more letters, and then we're going to start on book 2. So that's going to be really cool. So today we're on letter X, and let me turn the light on so you can see a little bit better. Okay, so we're on page 49, which is a 4 and a 9. Okay. So you know how we always start off? We read our sentences, don't we? Put the lid on my Play-Doh. Okay, so this is the letter X, is in box. So let's read it. Point your finger and read with Mrs. R. X is in box. And then there's that period. We have an ox and 6. So let's go ahead and replace those pictures. X is in ox. X is in 6. Okay, so now we're going to read them again a little bit quicker, and make sure your finger follows as Mrs. R reads, and you try to read too. X is in box. X is in ox. X is in 6. Okay, so ox is like a really strong cow. Oxen are used to farm in lots of different countries, and they're like a cow, but they're mainly used for on the farms for doing work. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab a few crayons. I think I'm going to color my X green. So I'm going to use a light green. I'm going to color that in. Like this. And color my lowercase x like this. So there's that. And I think I'm going to leave my box that color because some of these boxes are that color. But I am going to color my ox. I'm going to color it brown. They come in lots of colors. Brown, excuse me, black, gray. So any kind of those colors. An ox. Here's an ox that's pulling a cart. They use ox in the fields for farming a lot because they are very strong animals. And so we don't see them used too often here. But in countries where there's like not a lot of big machines and things, you'll see often that the farmers are using ox to plow their fields and do other types of work. Okay, so ox in the middle. Some spots here. And then I think I will color the part here. The tires color. Person. Right. All right, and then let's see, my number 6. Well, let's see, what color should we do? We haven't used purple in a long time. It's been a shade of purple. Okay, so reminds me of the color of grape jelly. I don't know if any of you have ever had a peanut butter and grape jelly sandwich, but they're pretty good. Okay, so here's that. All right, so now I am going to practice writing the X's, and we've already had some practice, so this should be pretty easy for you. So we're going to start at the top line, go down to the bottom, and then do the same on the other side. Top to bottom, top to bottom. Just make sure that they cross in the middle at the dotted line in the center. That's where they should cross. See how they cross there? Okay. And just keep going. And first, just like that. Oops, see, be careful. And the lowercase x starts at the middle line, goes to the bottom. So we go down and across, down and down, and across, down and across, down and across, down and across, then down and across, just like that. Okay. Now, if you are still coloring, you're still working on your X's, go ahead and press pause and come back to join me when you are all caught up. All right, so now we're going to flip the page to the next side. So we're going to page 49. Now we're going to page 50. It looks like this. So we're going to go ahead and do both of these activities. So activity number 1, although it works with the letter, or it's working with the letter Z, we're going to go ahead and do both of these. So Z, listen for the beginning sound. So what we're going to do is we're going to circle the picture that has the beginning sound with Z, and we're going to cross out the picture that does not have the Z sound at the beginning, okay? So let's go ahead and say these together. Zebra, sun. Zebra, sun. Which one has the Z sound? Zebra, right? Can you hear Z in zebra? Sun has the S, not the Z. So we're going to cross that one out. 10, zipper. 10, zipper. Which one has the Z sound? Well, 10 has that t, t, t sound, so that's not it. Zipper, does zipper have the Z sound? Yeah. Okay. Fox, 0. Fox, 0. Which one of these pictures has the Z sound? Fox has a F sound at the beginning, so that's not it. 0 has the Z sound at the beginning, doesn't it? That's the number 0. Good. Okay, so what they want us to do is practice writing Z. So we're going to do a lowercase z, start the middle line, go over, down, across. Over, down, across. And then we're going to trace. And what this says is zig, zag. Do you know what a zigzag is? It's like this. Zigzag, 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 zigzag. So that's it looks like a bunch of Z's connected. That's a zigzag, okay? So then section number 2 says X. Listen for the ending sound. So this time we're listening for the X sound, not the Z, but the X, and X says X, X, X. So we're looking for a picture that has the X sound at the end. So here's a fox and cot. Which one of them has the X sound at the end? Fox. Oh, I hear it in fox. I hear the X sound at the end. Cot has a T at the end. That's not it. So now let's write the word. What letter says F? Ah, ah, ah. What letter says ah? O. And then the new letter we're learning, X, 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 X. Ox, fox. Okay. Now let's look at these two pictures. Wave, box. Wave, box. Which of these two has the X sound at the end? Wave, box. Wave. It has V at the end, so that's not it. Box. I hear the X in the end of box, so that's it. Now let's spell it. B, b, b. What letter says b? B. Ah, ah, ah. What letter says ah? O. And what letter says x, x, x? Our new letter, right? The letter X. B, a, x, box. Okay, last one. So number 3, we're looking for a picture that has, remember, the X sound at the end. 6, turtle. 6, turtle. Okay, now let's think really quickly. 6. Do you hear the X at the end of 6? Yes, I do. Turtle has the turtle, oh, at the end. That's not it. We're looking for things with the X, the X sound. Okay, so let's go ahead and spell 6. S, s, s. What letter makes the S sound? S. S, it. What letter makes the it sound? I. X, x, x. What letter makes that sound? Our new letter X. There we go. X, 6, like the number 6. So fox, box, 6. And you'll notice at the end, Mrs. R was talking about before, usually X is found at the end of words. So here you go. We've got 3 words that all have X at the end. You'll rarely find X at the beginning of a word. Okay. So if you're still working, go ahead and press pause and finish up. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and put this book away. We're done with this. And now we need to get out our kindergarten read and write like a rock star book here in our packet. Okay. So if you remember, last time we did colorful lights, and the time before that we did Santa. So this week, let's just go to the next page that we haven't finished. We finished Santa one. Your picture. And then we did colorful lights. Oh, really stuck to that. And then we drew lights and did a sentence. So this time we're going to do Christmas snaps. Christmas snaps. Okay, so I'm going to point and read the words, and you listen really carefully. Now, for those of you that can read this, go ahead and read it with Mrs. R. But I do want you to follow along with your fingers. So I want everyone pointing at the first word, and we're going to read it together, okay? So if you can't read the words, that's okay. I'm going to read them to you. But those of you that can read, I want you to read them with me, okay? Here we go. Santa eats cookies. Mrs. Claus eats cake. Rudolph eats carrots. Jack likes candy canes. Okay, let's read it again. Santa eats cookies. Mrs. Claus eats cake. Rudolph eats carrots. Jack likes candy canes. So question down here asks, what does Santa eat? Do you guys remember? Is it carrots, cookies, or cake? Carrots, cookies, or cake? Circle the one you think that Santa eats. We all know Santa eats cookies. Okay. What does Rudolph eat? What does Rudolph eat? Does he eat carrots, cookies, or cake? Carrots, right? So we're going to write that word. Carrots. C-A. Carrots. Carrots. Is it carrots or carrots? Carrots. Carrots. Rudolph eats carrots. There we go. Okay, so we're going to turn to the next page now. On this page, it kind of gets fun because we get to write, we get to cut, and we get to glue. So the first thing says we need to write with our pencil. So it says, Santa eats the cookies. Santa eats the cookies. So let's go ahead and trace it. Santa eats the cookies. Santa eats the cookies. So I guess for my picture, we need to draw something up here, don't we? So I think I'm going to draw a plate of cookies. These are going to be the chocolate chips that are in the cookies. So I'm going to make a plate of chocolate chip cookies. chocolate chip cookies are so good. Elsie, one of our students in our kinder class, her family made one time, they made chocolate chip cookies and sent some to Mrs. R. And they were yummy. All right, so let me make some. Her chocolate chip cookies looked a lot prettier than in my picture. And they taste a lot better too, I'm sure. Okay, so I'm gonna put a plate like this on a table. Oh, and you know what? Santa needs a glass of milk. So I'm gonna draw a glass with some milk in it. There we go. So Santa has cookies and milk. So now I need to color in my cookies. So I'm gonna make them light brown, and then I'm gonna put on some chocolate chips on them. So those circles, I'm gonna color those actually a little bit darker. So let's So I know that like one of our family traditions, when my daughter, my first daughter was really little, was that we always put out cookies for Santa. And so all the kids, we did that. We put out cookies for them for Santa. We had a special plate that we used that said cookies for Santa. And so it was kind of fun. You wake up in the morning and oh my goodness, Santa would leave some crumbs on the plate and a bunch of presents behind. Okay. So I'm going to color my plate red. Since that's kind of a festive color, I'm going to trace it first. Like that. And I'm going to color it in. Red is one of the Christmas colors, isn't it? And go ahead and color on that. And then I think I'll put it put in my table green, like there's a green tablecloth on there or something. Santa here. Okay. Like that. And then I'll just leave my milk white because that's the color of milk, right? Okay, so if you're still working on your picture, you can go ahead and push pause and then you can just finish up, and then when you're ready, you can join me. So I'm just putting my crayons away. Okay, so what we'll need to do next is we need to get our scissors because we're going to cut out this bottom section down here. See, it says where it says scissors, we need to cut all those squares out and build a sentence. Okay. Make sure I don't cut 2 pages. So you have to be really careful when you cut this out because you don't want to cut the page underneath, so you have to be super careful. So I just cut across the bottom like that, and then the page ready like that. And then I'm going to cut out these words. So I'm just going to turn my paper. It's easier to cut if you turn your paper instead of your scissors. So you notice I just hold my hands in the same space, and as I cut, I just move the paper up, and then I turn it. Instead of moving my hand, I just keep my hand in the same spot and just rotate my paper. It makes it a lot easier. Okay, so I'm going to cut out these words and separate them. I've got kind of a puzzle to figure out here. I can put my scissors away. All right, so I need my glue. So go ahead and make sure you got your glue stick. Okay, so let me lay out my words here and see what I have and see if this works and makes sense. Okay. So you can see it better. It says, eats cookies, Santa the. Does that say what we want it to say? Because our sentence needs to say Santa eats the cookies. But right now it says eats cookies, Santa the. So let's look for this first word. We know it's the first word because this is also someone's name, Santa. But usually at the beginning of a sentence, you also capitalize. So, oh, does that look like the same? Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and pick that one up. Put a little bit of glue. A little dot of glue will do. And I'm going to glue that right onto there like that. So now we're looking for the next word. Santa eats. Eats. Here, that E-A-T-S, E-A-T-S. Yes, that definitely looks the same. So let me go ahead and put that in the spot. There we go. Santa eats, there's our two words left, the cookies. Santa eats the, T-H-E, that's one of our sight words. T-H-E, yep, that's a match. Santa eats the, last word, these definitely match, cookies. Let's go ahead and read it. Santa eats the cookies. And then we have a picture here that shows us that Santa's going to eat those cookies. I guess I should have drew a picture with maybe some of the cookies that have bite mark out of them. So if you're still working on gluing and cutting, that's okay. You can go ahead and push pause until you get done and then you can catch up, okay? All right, so that was so fun to write about Santa eats the cookies. So let's go ahead and go back to the front page and let's mark that because we did this one. So I need a crayon. I think I'm going to use yellow because it reminds me of the color of stars. Okay, so we did Christmas snacks today, so that's this first one. So let's go ahead and color in the stars. I know they're really small, so just do your best to color them in. Kind of hard, I know. So next week, or the following week, we have one more left to do, and then we've got our whole notebook done. Isn't that great? Okay, so let's go ahead and close that up. We're going to put that one away. So we're all done with that. And so let me stop sharing my screen with you. All right, so I hope you guys had some fun today learning something new about the letter X and our sight word it, and doing some sentences about Santa eating cookies. That was kind of fun too. So I hope you all are having a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you very soon. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.